What's up, my beautiful human beings? It's your girl Cassidy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be addressing all of you little heifers' assumptions about me. I'm just kidding, but no, genuinely I am going to be answering or addressing all of your guys' assumptions about me today. So I went on Instagram the other day and I asked you guys to send me any assumptions that you had about me, like things that you assumed about my life or who I am or whatever. I wanted to know what you guys like initially think, but I'm excited to like go through them and just kind of like clear some stuff up and like address things and see what comes out of this. I thought this was an especially cool video to do just because on Instagram and like through social media, it's so easy to assume things about people's lives. I'm telling you guys, like there are things that I've gone through or things that I'm probably going through that none of you on the other side watching this video would ever think that I would go through this or certain things, because it's so easy to just like look at someone at a short time of like a video that they post or pictures that they post and assume things about their life. Like it's really easy to assume that they're happy or they don't go through difficult things just because everything looks perfect on social media. Social media is extremely deceiving. So before we get into this video, don't forget to give me a big like down there because you guys know it helps me out so much, and subscribe while you're there as well. Join the CassidySecrets gang. Come chill with me. It's so fun. All right, so the first message that I got was a really long one, and this is by Lovely T. I don't think my message will fit in your assumption box, but I'll tell you here whether you respond or not. I assumed you were really stuck up since you never answered an initial question I had almost 2 years ago. Oh my god. But I realize that you're becoming so responsible for social media in ways we don't have to be. So it must be hard to answer random DMs. But just know, I don't assume that anymore. I follow your stories all the time and still am so inspired by what you do and how you do it. Oh my god, that's so nice. I contemplate leaving my fucking job every day and try to do what you do, but too scared to take that leap, so I live vicariously through you. Please keep posting tutorials and shopping overhauls. You're amazing, and I've seen so many of your vids. You're super cute, and women like myself look to you for inspiration in parts of everyday life. Wow, that was, I love how like raw and real she was in that message, because this is like, that's real life. Like, you know, you could assume someone is stuck up because you're like, oh wow, like what, she didn't answer me like hello, like she thinks she's too good or something. It's easy to feel that way like on social media, but I really appreciate that she was honest about that feeling, and that she also kind of like followed that up with like, okay, it makes sense, like, you know, it must be hard to answer all the messages. I am so sorry that I didn't answer your message. I have to be honest, like when it comes to DMs, I'm usually really good at answering all of my DMs, especially if you message me like twice or 3 times. I'm like, oh my god, I have to answer this person. But I promise, like if I don't answer you guys, it's not on purpose. Like it really is not on purpose. I'm the worst when it comes to responding in general. Even if I do not have a social media life, anyone in my personal life, my cousins, my aunts, my parents, my friends, they know that I am the worst texter of life. I will literally read someone's text and be like, oh yeah, okay, we'll do this at this time, in my head, and then I'll just put my phone down and literally it leaves my brain to answer them. I don't know what it is. I just genuinely think like who I am, as much as I do this social media stuff, as much as I'm like on Instagram and on YouTube, I'm not really meant for that like everyday like follow up, like keeping up with like my phone and like social media. Like I do a good job because it's like I enjoy it, or I do what I feel like I have to do. But sometimes you guys notice, you follow me on Instagram, there are days where like I don't post on my stories at all, and like there are just days that I just want to myself. Like I sometimes don't want to answer text messages, and I think that that's a normal human being thing to do. But with that being said, I could understand how you would assume that like I was like stuck up or something if I didn't answer your message, because that is kind of messed up. Like it's not that hard just to answer a freaking message. But yeah, I'm so sorry I didn't answer you. I really do try my best, but sometimes it does really get like exhausting to go through messages and answer every single one of them. Another person said, I really wouldn't know what to assume about you, but thanks for being who you are. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm always gonna like be myself as much as I possibly can through a computer screen. I'm always gonna be like whatever I feel is most authentic to who I am. Like, I'm never gonna come on here and try to act like someone else or try to sell you something that I think is trash. Like, I'm just always gonna be who I am, and as much as I can possibly show my personality and my values and what's important to me through a limited time on a screen, I'm gonna like take advantage of that, you know? Cassandra Verona said, I assumed you are a very introverted person. So this is an interesting one. I feel like it's interesting because when you first meet me, like, you definitely wouldn't think I'm introverted. It's easy for me to like pick up conversation and like talk to people, connect with people. Like, I really love to talk. I love to find out more about like all different people. I definitely wouldn't consider myself introverted, but I will say, as much as it's easy for me to talk about things to people or like just to start conversation, I am very personal. I keep things like in my life very personal. I don't tell my business to everybody. Like, you know, I don't tell my personal things, just like I don't throw them out there in the open. I really, really don't. Just because like it's like self-protection, you know, I like to keep things safe with me and or maybe with the people that are like extremely, extremely close to me. Because, you know, not everyone in the world is as kind as you are. So it's not that I don't trust people. It's just that I personally feel most comfortable just sometimes keeping things for myself, you know? I think it's important to have a personal life and to not have your business all out there. So as much as I'm not an introverted person, I also am very personal. I like to have my personal life. I like to have my space. I don't like for everybody to know my business. And, my best friend's FaceTiming me right now.
Hello.
Hello. Say hi.
Nah, don't do that.
So yeah, not really sure where I left off, but like I said, I'm not introverted at all. I'm very easy to talk to. I think I'm very approachable, but at the same time, you won't know like personal things about me unless you're very close to me. Like, I keep my personal life tight, on lock. As much as I want to like open up more to you guys here on my channel, I still have that feeling like protecting my space, my personal life in a way. So yeah. Someone said, I assumed you are low-key related to Karol G. I love Karol G. I freaking love her. Her and Anuel are like couple goals. I'm obsessed with both of them. But no, I'm not related to her, but I've been getting so many comments recently, like under my videos, that I look like Karol G, but I do love Karol G. She's like, ugh, she's so fly. I love her. Someone said, I assume you seem down to earth. I feel like it's kind of hard to like say that about myself because that is a compliment, but I would say for the most part, I think I am. I have people in my life that will put me in check real quick if I get out of line, basically. Like, if I'm getting maybe a little bit too cocky or like thinking that like I'm the shit when really I'm just like anyone else, you better believe I have those real people in my life that will be like, check yourself, back in line, let's tone things down and get right. I guess that's what would keep me like down to earth. Someone said, I assumed you were popular in school, in high school. I think I was definitely part of a bigger group. Anyone that's watching that went to high school with me, you know what I'm talking about. In high school, I definitely didn't look how I look now. I was very like awkward. I was just like very lanky and like bony, and and I don't know, I was just like, I've always felt awkward. Like I was never comfortable in my own skin in high school. But I would say like I was comfortable with my friend group. Like I had a really great friend group. There was like a bigger group that was known, like everyone in the school knew us as like the Spanish group, but within that group of people there were like, you know, your subdivisions of groups of people that were closer, but we would all hang out together. So I was kind of like part of a group like that, which it was really fun because for the most part, like we had a really good time in high school. There were like great parties and like we were always doing some shit. Like it was really fun. So was I popular? I don't think I was like the popular girl, but I definitely was part of like a bigger group that was maybe more known like around the high school. Someone said, I assumed that you are short, and you are right about that. I am 5'1", so yeah, I'm hella short. Someone else said, I assumed you and Chris would have been engaged by now. Broken heart. I mean, yeah, I assumed that my life might be on a different path too, but hey, here we are. You never know where life is gonna bring you, and I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that. Someone said, I assumed you were down to earth, but with a tiny bit of conceited. Ooh. You might be right about that. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't mean this in a conceited way, but I think personally, I feel like every person should have a little bit of like a pinch of like conceited. You know, I don't even want to say conceited. I'll use the word confident instead of conceited because I don't think I'm like a vain person. I don't think I'm like conceited to the point where like it affects other people in a bad way, but I definitely am confident for sure. I'm a very confident person. I don't doubt myself very often. I have moments, of course, where I doubt myself or like question things that I'm doing. But I would say overall, I am confident. I am down to earth at the same time. So it kind of like keeps me leveled out in a sense where like I know myself, I know my worth. I love how, I love myself. I love how I look. I love how I dress. I love my style. I love my taste. I love all of those things about myself. But I would never let that confidence put someone else down, and I feel like that's what might make me more relatable to other people, and I think everyone else should be too. I think when you doubt yourself or compare yourself or, you know, think you're ugly, it's wasted energy, it's wasted time. You always have to think the best things about yourself. You have to know that you can do anything. You have to know that you're beautiful on the inside and on the outside. So I think that's important for everyone to have. And I'm sorry if they came off conceited, but I think it's more of just like a confidence thing. Someone said, I love you, just this with a heart. Oh, I love you. I love you so much. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Esterly Melo says, I assumed you were white. Never did I think you were Dominican. That is a big assumption that a lot of people assume. Like a lot of people think I'm like maybe Italian or Greek or what, I don't know, white. But yeah, I am not. I'm Latina, I'm Dominican, Puerto Rican, and French. And people, when I tell people that my mother is Dominican, they're like, what? Like they can't believe it. Like a lot of people just can never believe it, but yeah, I am. I'm Dominican. Okay, guys, so that is it for all of these assumptions. I'm glad that a lot of you were actually like honest with me about what your first thoughts were, because I value that so much. Like I think that's so cool when you guys can be honest with me, but still like in a kind way. Thank you everyone who sent in their original assumptions about me. I really appreciate it. I think it's so important to keep your assumptions about people in check, because you never know what someone else is going through, especially through social media. So I think the more mindful we are of that as a collective community, the more kind we can be to each other. Like I've definitely had assumptions about people like, oh, she looks like she's a bitch, or like she looks like she's not that nice, and then I meet them and they're like just like completely changed my outlook on them. So if I would have ever acted on those assumptions, if I would have like thought that that person wasn't a nice person, and then I would be like, oh, I'm just gonna stay with that assumption on thinking she's not a nice person, I would have never get to know like who someone truly is, and I think that can be kind of dangerous and toxic to just like your overall experience in life. So I think it's natural to have assumptions, but I just want to close this video out with just a little reminder, like if you have an assumption about someone, don't act on it right away. Let them prove to you who they are before you assume who they are. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to close that out, remind you guys, and remind myself of that also, because I'm definitely guilty of it too. So yeah, I hope this was a fun and interesting video for you guys to watch. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, because you know how much it means to me from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!